Hello, welcome to my craft orchard. So it's April 2022, which means it's also Camp NaNoWriMo. So any of you who are writers will probably already know what NaNoWriMo is, but those of you who are not, NaNoWriMo is National Writing Month, which means you write 50,000 words in a month. They don't have to be good, they don't have to be brilliant, but it's just that start, that exercise of getting you used to writing lots and lots of words. And then twice a year you also then get Camp NaNoWriMo, which is April and July. So in Camp NaNoWriMo you've got a lot more flexibility. You could edit the novel that you wrote at NaNoWriMo, or you can do something else. I know there's a lot of author tubes out there. Some people are using it to plot, some people are using it to write short stories or dissertations or anything like that. I will put the link down below for the website of NaNoWriMo, so you can go and have a look, check out. It's a huge community. Everybody's really friendly, and if you want to write, and it could be anything, like I say, it could be a dissertation for your degree, it could be poetry, anything. What I'm using Camp NaNoWriMo for this year is two things. The first thing is I have written 10,000 words to a novel. I've got an awful lot of ideas. I've got a rough idea where the story's going. But as a new novelist, because I'm newbie of where novel writing's concerned, I've still got a lot to learn. So I've still got to learn how to plot, how to develop a character, how to world build, all of those sort of things. So I'm using Camp NaNoWriMo this year, first of all, to read through my 10,000 that I wrote at NaNoWriMo and to plot those into a coherent list of events, basically. That's the first thing. And then the second project that I've got going is a 30-day blogging challenge. So part of my YouTube and online persona, as it were, is I want a site where I can offer free printables or patterns or a written idea of what's going on here on a video. So if people don't have time to watch me chatting about notebooks or crafting ideas, then they've actually got a place that they can go and read in more depth. So let me show you what I've got here in front of me, which is going to help me this year with my NaNoWriMo. So it's a total fluke that I bought this folder here, which is a MLJH For Life Handmade journal cover. And it's a total fluke that I bought this, and then I went into the works and they have these, and I've got this strip here where it's bright pink, which I use for my content planning, and then I picked this one up, and the fluke is it's exactly the same colour. You probably can't tell on camera, but this and this is exactly the same colour. I was like, it was meant to be when I got it home. So there's 3 compartments this. There's a pencil case. In the front one I've got lots of washi tape, different colours. I'll explain about those in a minute. I've then got lots of pens in here. I've got a Parker ballpoint. I've got my Bic intensities, you know I love those. And then I've got these Japanese pens, which I had off Amazon for Christmas. And there isn't a name. I will link them down below. But they're very much like the Muji pens. I don't think they are Muji pens, but they're very much like that, and they are lovely to write with. I had these off AliExpress, and then a Bic pencil. So, and all of these colours match my washi tape. Okay, and in the back pocket, which is actually the full length of this, I've then got post-it note again in the same colour. So I've got post-it notes, I've got washi tape, and I've got pens all in the same colour. And this is where I'm keeping my index cards. So this pack of index cards here are the notes about what to put in Act 1, Act 2. And I'm using a system by Katytastic. It was recommended by NaNoWriMo, and I've watched a couple of her videos, I'll link them below, of how to plot a novel. And so what I've done is I'm just going through and I'm just writing, for instance, their possible action from something that's happening in the novel, and then I'm writing underneath. So for the introduction, where is what is it? What's it say? Hints of existing stuff. So where is the character? Any scary stuff that's happening? A bit about the character, the setting, any conflicts, and characters that are around the the person you're writing about. As you can see, half of them are empty because this is what the process I'm going through. I'm trying to learn how to plot, so these cards will fill up as I'm going through that process. And as you see, I got these from Wilkinson's. I've just put a clip on them. This is their bigger ones, and then these are going to be the plot notes from my novel. So I'm going to read through my 10,000 words. I'm going to take, say, block 1 from here, and then I'm going to write the actual novel information onto these. So I've got a whole board as I lay them all out, and it's a tried and tested. I can't get my tongue right. It's a tried and tested system using index cards for plotting and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give that a go. And again, in this, as you can see, I've got a load of index cards where I've had a go, I've had a play, and I wasn't very happy with it. So that's what those are. So let's just move my bullet journal out of the way. So as I said, this is a MLH cover. I've actually got it upside down. It's actually supposed to go this way, because there's writing here, look. And I've got two big pockets. There's a big pocket there and a big pocket there. And again, I've got spots the same colour as the washi and the pens. Okay, but when I put my book in here, I actually preferred these two pockets being on the front, which is why I turned it over. So, and because the index cards fit in there really nice. I've also got, and there's a big pocket there. So, index cards of notes. I have done a colour card for each of the characters. So I've got the colour of the pen, the washi, and the index card, the post-it note that will represent that. So as I'm writing notes about each of these characters, I know what colour I'm now using. So if I look at Edward, he's blue. So anywhere I look in my notes, I see blue, I know I'm talking about Edward. That's the idea behind that. This colour coding is actually from Heart Breathing, Sarah Cannon. She's a novelist with a lot of books that she's produced, and I follow her religiously. Every week I watch all of her videos. I think she's great. And I'll link her stuff below, but a lot of this writing stuff I've had from her. So this idea was one of hers, which I've borrowed. And then she's also produced this Heart Breathing's Camp Nano book, which is a tracker. So basically you're looking at rewards for doing various things. So if I write 10 blog posts, I'm going to go and get a nice special cake. If I write 20, I'm going to treat myself to a Starbucks coffee. And if I get all 30 done, we'll have lunch out. Okay. Similar for plotting Act 1, plotting Act 2 and plotting Act 3 from my 10,000 notes. Starbucks coffee, meal out, and chocolate that I don't often have. So if I normally have a bar of dairy milk, maybe I'll treat myself to some Thorntons or hotel chocolate or something like that. Then she's put a calendar in, and then some other sheets. So for instance, this is a block sheet, so you mark off how much time you've spent on each of these things. And then there's another tracker, one for blogging that I've done and one for scenes that I've plotted, and I can just mark these off as I go to say yes, I've done those, or no, I haven't. I will link all of this information about heart breathings, the writing community, and all of that sort of things in the description. So if you're interested in writing and journals and that sort of thing, she's a lady that I follow who I would most definitely recommend. I've then got loads of notes. So if I just explain, my novel at the moment is, I've written 10,000 words, and I wrote those by hand on my computer, and I also dictated some into my phone straight onto Google Docs, and I've then had to go back and sort of edit a little bit, because as I was talking, extra words got put in, and anything that I hand wrote I actually took a photograph of, and then Google Docs translate it into text for me. Again, I had to go back and edit that because there were words and all sorts of stuff that really didn't make any sense, or stuff had got missed. So I've got the 10,000 words. I've then got a load of post-it notes with notes on. I've then got a load of pages from an old journal that I was using to make notes. I have then got another rough notebook, again with lots of notes in. Can you see where this is going? I've got notes here, I've got post-it notes here, I've got index cards here, I've got a book full of notes here, and I have a bit of a manuscript. None of it's organised, none of it is where it needs to be, and none of it makes sense, if I'm honest. So the whole idea was to spend this Camp NaNoWriMo going through what I've already written and getting the plot points. Then I can go through all of these notes and all of these that I've got here to go through again and add them to the plot points and the scene cards and all of that sort of thing. And then I'm hoping that when NaNoWriMo comes around again in November, I can then have a better idea of my novel and a better idea what's going on, and instead of just writing the 10,000, I can then add to those 10,000 and finish up with a total of 50. So in the end I'll have 60,000. That's the plan. Whether it works is a different matter. As my dad says, plan A is this. It never actually works out that way, so you always need a plan B and C. So that's what this is. Now this beautiful notebook here is a Pukka notebook, and if you look, it's actually a composition. So this is A5, so this cover is bigger than A5, and you can get an A5 notebook. It's advertised as an A5 cover, and it does fit in there perfectly. However, it is a bit bigger than A5 if you look. And these corners tend to flop a bit if you just put A5 in. So I've bought the composition, and that fits in super snug but lovely. And I've set this up similar to a bullet journal. So I've got the index, I've got a tracker set up for what I'm writing, just a date and what I wrote, that sort of thing. A look at the timeline, so what I've just a brief, what am I going to be putting in each of the 9 blocks from Katytastic, and to write a timeline so everything is all in line and one thing doesn't happen before another. And then I've just, at the moment, I've just washi taped a load of tops of questions. Sorry, pages. The reason I've just said questions is because I've just read the word questions. Can you believe it? So the idea is, across the top, you probably can't see in pencil, I've just written what I think should go onto these pages. So the first few is character, double page characters of all the main characters, and then I've got a single page for sort of, sort of like the next batch of characters, not fully main characters, but all the ones that maybe be in the second or third book, definitely reoccurring type things. And there's quite a few there. Then I've got one that says questions about the world, so I can do my world building in there. Things about elements of the story, places, so there's an orphanage in this story, so there's I could write a description where it is, who lives there, bit about the orphanage's history, that sort of thing, etc. And again, I've got Q&A answers, questions, answers, that sort of thing, all sort of intermingled. And I've written out at the top what I think should go on there. And then as I come to look at Eleanor, who is my main character, I can then write in here all the information. And as I go through these notes, there's lots of different things. As I go through the manuscript I've already got, there's lots of different things. And it's just a place of collecting the same information in the same place. If you're a bullet journaler, that's the principle behind that. Lots and lots of pages in here. I can't remember exactly how many. I will link, this is off Amazon. It came as a pack of 3. So I will link this and the cover below if you are interested. And this book is for book 1 of my Ladies Assassins series that I'm trying to write, and it's been going on for at least 12 months now, and I'm nowhere near anything. It's just all the ideas. If I ever came to write another one, and I have quite a few novels in my brain, I would then use a different book for that one. And this, as I say, this cover will actually hold 2 or 3 of these books. So I could always put the next one in here and think, oh, what about that, and write that in. Okay, so that's that bit. So that is purely for the novel I'm writing. This, however, which is a Moterm cover, it's my green one, it's always on a notebook that is current, and if it's not, I always transfer it back out to a current notebook because I love this thing so much. I really do. So this notebook is a Creations the author, a GLP Creations the author. It's Tome River paper, which is the same as you get in your Hobonichis and that sort of thing. And originally this was going to be the same as this one was, and everything for Lady Assassins was going to be in here. But it ended up becoming more of a month by month. So last year I put a list of tasks, and as of July, which is when I started the first Camp NaNoWriMo that I did, I wrote about that and put calendars, and then each month I put sort of a calendar, goals, and then roughly what I did to write, so for instance in August I did 2 sessions of writing. It's not very much, but as long as I'm doing a bit and I'm having a go, that's all that matters. So then I did Preptober, which was October last year, and what I wanted to achieve from that, and then the NaNoWriMo, which hasn't been updated, calendar. Again, all this information came from heart breathings. Got some questions that were left over. I did a bit of a brainstorm of questions for my novel, and then we get to December. And then this page is supposed to say 2022, but I haven't got to that. Just need the stencil, just need 5 minutes to do it. Then I set out with January. Again, I had some stickers from Upsa Daisy, so I put them in, goals for January and what actually happened. I've put a yearly, this is what I would like to happen at the beginning of the year, and then my February and March was prep for Camp Nano, and as you can see I actually did most of those. And this is bullet journal style. This year it's all about black and white, everything's black and white with a bit of gold, and that's it. So for Camp Nano I have, because it's April, written my 2 projects out. I have a project tracker so I can write what I did or didn't do and make a note to keep track of every day, and that's it. So I set this up before I had the heart breathings thing, and I will actually fill out both. And so as the month goes on, I've then got lots of different pages that I can write notes, ask questions, that sort of thing, write ideas down, and that's about it. As you can see, there's a lot more pages in here. It's a dot grid one, pen test, and then at the back nothing really, calendar, old calendar, and that's it. So really this bullet journal, this is my what I call my writing bullet journal. Every month I am tracking NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo, plus goals for a month, be it reading or writing or learning or something, and then going back in and just writing about what actually happened and why didn't I write, or you know, what things have stopped me, what things went well, what things went great, you know, that sort of thing. So it's more of a journey of my writing as opposed, and a record of where I was to where I'm going, if that makes sense. If you'd like to know more, please comment below. I'll leave all the links for NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo, all of that below. I'll leave the heart breathings information down there as well. Everything. Let me know. Are you participating in Camp Nano this April? Are you a writer? You know, and if you decide to use Camp for dissertations or blogging, you see, for instance, I'm using it to try and get my blog up and running and getting all the ideas and that sort of thing into there. If you're doing that, let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you're up to, what's happening. Okay. So, my craft orchard, where skills and ideas can grow. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.